A measure to turn 1 or 2 parking spots into outdoor seating could soon be on the table locally. Councilwoman Kristen Palmer sponsored a bill that allows parklets in New Orleans. According to officials from the National Association of City Transportation, parklets slow down traffic and increase business.
Right now, it could be a really good impetus for our small businesses, and I want to do everything that we can to get our small businesses open and employing folks.
The parklet program would be on a case-by-case application basis. For example, if a business is in front of a bus stop, they may not be eligible. Now that this city council has approved the measure, it goes to the administration. And there's a few meal distribution locations across the city, including the Audubon Zoo. Second Harvest will set up a food distribution site in the zoo's parking lot at 1 o'clock this afternoon, so shortly. Crews will be handing out food until 3 or while supplies last. Also, the Berean Bible Church on the West Bank and the Household of Faith Church in New Orleans East are handing out food for residents in need as well. Both sites opened at 9 o'clock this morning and will go until they run out of supplies. With more reopenings as we near the Memorial Day holiday, we're keeping a close eye on the coronavirus case numbers. Here's the latest from the State Health Department. Today, there are nearly 37,000 cases reported, an increase of more than 400 from yesterday. And there were nearly 40 more deaths reported, bringing that number to more than 2,500. But good news, the number of those in the hospital and on ventilators continues to go down. Worldwide, numbers continue to rise. There are more than 5.2 million coronavirus cases globally and around 335,000 deaths. Back in the United States, there's more than 1.6 million cases and 96,000 deaths. This as many beaches open for business this Memorial Day. Michael George has more.
Even a pandemic isn't keeping some Americans from the sand and surf this holiday weekend.
After like 60-something days indoors, it's nice to soak up the sun back on the beach.
In hard-hit New Jersey, restrictions are in place along the Jersey shore.
We're going to have what we call social monitoring, people walking around to remind people that they should be separated. We're not going to kick them off the beach or have them arrested or anything like that. We'll just strongly advise them against it.
Every coastal state, aside from Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and New Hampshire, will have at least some of their shores open to residents by today. Here at New York City beaches, people can walk on the sand, but no swimming. And Parks Department workers will be handing out masks.
You go out for the amount of time you need, then you get back home. You socially distance the whole time.
In Southern California, businesses near the beaches are getting ready for the crowds.
Memorial weekend is going to be really crazy.
But there is concern about a second wave of infections. In just the last 2 weeks, the number of positive coronavirus cases in Montgomery County, Alabama, has more than doubled.
I think we reopened our economy too soon, and I think that people did not adhere to some of the social distancing guidelines.
A recent Harris poll found most Americans, 95%, say because of the coronavirus, Memorial Day is too soon to take a trip. And some had their events canceled, including the annual Rolling to Remember motorcycle ride honoring veterans in D.C.
We're really looking forward to taking and riding it there, but because of everything that's going on, we can't.
And AAA did not offer a Memorial Day travel forecast for the first time in 20 years, but the agency expects a new record low. Michael George, CBS News, Coney Island, New York.
All right, and the best number we can bring you today, those who have recovered from the coronavirus. Across the globe, that number includes more than 2 million people, nearly 385,000 of those here in the United States. Stocks moved sideways in early trading. Investors weighed Dr. Fauci's upbeat comments on Moderna's vaccine trials against worries about increasing tension between the United States and China. Here's a look at the big board right now. The Dow is down over 100 points.